What's up, TKW Warriors? This is Danny Fuego
and TJ Hunter.
and we're back for another update video. First, we want to touch on the subject of Jay King. He is still missing, unfortunately, and anything y'all can help us with will be really appreciated.
Unfortunately, that is why I'm holding the SmackDown Predictions Championship. I'm not gonna hold these the whole video. I just wanted them to be here so I can see. We do have new customized side plates. They're a little nicer than what we had. What we had was just cardboard. So there's that. Unfortunately, we had to strip Jay King of the belt because he was not here to defend it. And I won at Fastlane.
We went toe to toe.
The only thing that put me over was Randy Orton surprisingly winning. And this fantasy predictions I'm never going to lose. So, we haven't been recording for a while. We've been trying to find Danny. We have yet to be able to find him.
Jay. I'm here.
Danny right here.
Danny's right here.
Sorry, I want to get rid of Danny. But we haven't found Jay. It's been a really weird situation with him. We don't know where he's at. We wanted to find him to try to get him here on this video. Maybe, he could get a chance to get his title back on some random episode of SmackDown. I don't know. But hopefully he comes for predictions on a takeover, because if not, we'll unfortunately have to strip him of that title as well. And I do not want to do that to him because he's the only takeover predictions champion we've ever had. So let's just talk about some random stuff. We just go from Royal Rumble to the build to WrestleMania right now. Just some bigger points. Talk about John Cena. Talk about Undertaker, AJ, Roman, Brock.
Roman Reigns. That's basically all WWE cares about. Roman Reigns.
Pretty much. Do you not like Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns.
Since when?
Since he debuted with the Shield.
But you haven't liked him since then.
Wow, I did.
All right, so we'll just start. We won't even go in order. How about the last Monday night?
Let's talk
Raw?
about Daniel Bryan.
Okay, we'll talk about Daniel Bryan first. He is medically cleared by WWE. Every single doctor he's ever been to has cleared him in the last 2 years. However, it comes down to one, and it's WWE's medical chief of staff. I'm not sure what his name is. I think it's Maroon or something like that. But he finally cleared Daniel Bryan to return into in-ring action, and he took one hell of a bump on SmackDown.
He did. But
I was worried about it.
It was a good day for wrestling.
It was.
Indeed.
It's been a good year for wrestling. Everything good's happening this year. So we got Brock Lesnar attacked Roman Reigns to open up Raw.
Pretty much a Braun Strowman copy and paste, but it was good. Indeed. It was good.
Braun Strowman copy paste?
Yeah.
That was a beat up that only Brock Lesnar could have pulled off. I don't even like Brock Lesnar as champ. Speaking of Braun Strowman, who do you think is going to be his tag partner at WrestleMania?
Elias.
I hope so.
Elias. Or
maybe Brock.
I hope Samoa Joe, if he comes back. That would be,
I really wanted him to win by himself, but I guess that's just me.
Great team, in my opinion.
I've heard some rumors that people want it to be James Ellsworth. I think that's just dumb.
That would be interesting, but
no, I wouldn't like that as a tag team dynamic. It just wouldn't work out. Let's see.
So I really want you to talk about the Ultimate Deletion.
Ultimate Deletion. Danny didn't watch it. I watched it, and I loved it. Maybe my favorite out of the 4 final deletions. I mean, they're not all called final deletion, but that's how we here at TKW kind of group them together. So it started out with Wyatt coming to the Hardy compound, gates open, and in comes Vanguard 1. Matt Hardy, in a hologram, which I didn't think they'd bring back from TNA, told Bray Wyatt to follow the music. I don't know if they tried to do it like this, but I got a follow the buzzers type vibe. And then you could hear Rebby Sky playing the old TNA theme song of Broken Matt Hardy in the distance as Bray Wyatt followed the music into the famous ring. The match itself was okay. Neither one of them are the best wrestlers, but that's not what this was about. This was all about the gimmick, and the gimmick was there, and it was amazing. He had Vanguard 1 initiate the Boomstick Initiative. I think that's what it was called. Something with boomsticks. It was trying to recapture the magic of Matt versus Jeff with the fireworks. And it worked, except I wish they were in their hands shooting it at each other. Mm-hmm. And then went to the land of obsolete men. I tried to follow Broken Matt. I don't know if I just missed it, but it didn't click with me if there was any kind of connection there. Then they went to, I believe there was just a wooden cabin, and it reminded Bray Wyatt of his old Wyatt family compound that Randy Orton burned down in 2017. And it started doing all the promos from when Bray Wyatt first debuted, and it was a great callback to his old character. We went into the Dome of Deletion, where they held total nonstop deletion, and tag team Apocalypto and TNA. I don't think any of this stuff would ever have come to WWE TV, and I'm glad it all did. One of the most controversial parts, some people don't like it, I personally love it, is when he couldn't decide whether to use a wheelchair or a lawnmower to get rid of Bray Wyatt, and it was one of my favorite parts. A little bit of hokey with the camera cuts and Bray obviously being in different positions, but I mean, it was a pre-tape match. That's what you're going to assume is going to happen. And then he picked the lawnmower, the famous lawnmower, where he destroyed Jeff Hardy's famous yard. Not a garden, there's no flowers there. But his famous yard with all of his little Hardy Boys symbols in it, just went straight through it. And he almost went straight through Bray Wyatt. And if I'm not mistaken, that went straight from Dome of Deletion to the Lake of Reincarnation, where we thought Bray Wyatt was going to hit his sister Abigail to Matt Hardy into the dilapidated boat. I'm going to mispronounce this. Skarsgård, I believe is what it's called. Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat. However, Vanguard 1 came to make the save. And instead, Bray Wyatt held him. And I know I was watching there and I was hoping and praying that Bray Wyatt did not just rip Vanguard 1 in half. That would have been sad for me. Instead, he let him fly away, and Matt Hardy somehow got under Skarsgård. Bray Wyatt went to pick up the boat, and it was Senor Benjamin making his Raw debut there. He gave him an inflated world ball, and he told him he got the whole world in his hands. A callback to his first legit main event feud with John Cena. The whole premise was he had the whole world in his hands. We got a cameo by the nefarious brother Nero, also singing he's got the whole world in his hands. And in Wyatt's face, you could almost see that now that he had his whole world in his hands, he realized it was nothing. It meant nothing. And that would lead into Matt Hardy hitting the twist of fate, getting the 3 count on dirt, which is still funny. It's funny watching refs count on dirt. And then he got thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation. I assumed that he would come back out as Husky Harris, as that would be hard to do. Too long hair, too long of a beard. But, I mean, maybe he'll get repackaged in the future. Maybe he'll come back with a different gimmick. I hope it's not too different, because I do like the cult leader. I just didn't like the magician going into the Titantron. But he's gone now, and he's been deleted. So, we don't know what Matt Hardy's going to do after that. We don't know what Bray's going to do after that. We also don't know what Brother Nero's going to do after that. So, everyone's up in the air, and I'm interested to see what happens at WrestleMania, because I feel like something's going to come down with all this.
About WrestleMania, wouldn't it have been much better if they would have done that at Mania?
No. I'm glad they did it on an episode of Raw. Imagine, you have your hardcore fans. So they're the ones that are really going to like it. However, imagine the backlash they would have got if they 70,000 plus were just sitting watching the screen. Okay. And now, but now you got your casual fans watch this on Raw, and some of them can get into it. That's going to keep your casual fans coming back, making more hardcore fans. Other than that, okay, let's talk about Fastlane. I haven't seen you since before Fastlane. What were your thoughts on Fastlane as a pay-per-view?
Fastlane, decent. Decent pay-per-view just to get...
It was almost a get it out of the way pay-per-view. They should have called this pay-per-view Roadblock.
It was... the title match was amazing.
It was...
But other than that, it was just pretty much another episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Decent matches, but...
Ruby Riott had a better showing than I thought she would.
Yeah, I was actually surprised about that match.
They did really good all night about turning... Because crowd went dead in spots. But they did a good job every single match of turning that crowd up. Every single time. They turned it up just a little bit more. Until the main event. And the crowd were going crazy for all the spots. John Cena started off with 4 attitude adjustments in a row. And I thought that match was going to go high pace. And it did eventually. But it did have to go through a few stare downs. Which most multi-man matches do. And I thought John was going to win. I mean, I didn't pick John. But I there was times I thought he had the match.
What did you think about the Kevin and Sammy spot?
The spot they had on Tuesday, where Sammy just turned around and haluva kicked Kevin Owens, they should have saved that for this pay-per-view. That would have been a much bigger spot then. And then Shane McMahon, of course, inserting himself. We're still going to get this rivalry. Hopefully it ends at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan's back, so it's probably going to be a tag match.
Most likely.
I just hope it ends. I'm sick of this Shane. I'm sick of Shane. I love Shane when he came back in 2016. I'm sick of him by now. He's not the best wrestler in the world, as they've been portraying him as. So, as far as I know, there hasn't really been big news in WWE since then. Anything you want to talk about WWE and the? Oh, there's one
Roman
thing I
Reigns.
do want to talk about. Okay, go ahead. What about Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns is suspended.
He is suspended. Oh, that's why you want to talk about Roman Reigns. You're happy he got suspended, even though he hasn't missed a single episode of Raw.
That's the
Should have just kept him off till the go home.
part of it. Suspended. He still shows up the next week.
He wasn't even wearing street clothes. He was wearing
Regular gear.
regular gear. And then Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali in the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament Finals. I was pulling for Buddy Murphy. It was a hard pill to swallow that he lost, but this is going to be an amazing match. And the two guys that you should always have built the Cruiserweight division around. Maybe the two best athletes on the Cruiserweight division right now.
I was also going for Murphy, but whoever wins,
This is a
be
new
fine
era.
with it.
This is a new era of 205 Live. And no matter who wins, it's going to be great. And then, that's our update. We're sorry for not posting. We're going to try to post more regularly. We're working on fantasy booking, a couple lists.
What is that? What? Do y'all recognize that?
No, I've never seen this mask before. What is this?
It's the same.
This isn't the one that attacked us, is it?
The lights just go up?
Okay, I'll make sure I wasn't going crazy. I thought the lights
The
went out.
lights did go up.
Wait, no. No.